So how are you feeling? How are you feeling after? I want to obviously go through the show and everything, but before we get there, how's the mental after everything?
Mentally, I'm in a better space now. Things are moving again. After the show, and straight back into work. Obviously, the first 3-4 days, push nice and high calories again, just get the body reset,
Yeah.
and then back on to got a new plan. Back off on the food again. Yeah, tightened up the screws again. But even though those 3-4 was the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, those 4 days, pushed 4,100 calories or something like that. Weight only went up. Like I said, my weight the first 2 days, my weight just stayed there. Was I weighing at 83
But on the
on the day?
on the day, I'm trying to remember now.
It was 83 or something like that.
Yeah, I think 80. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But that was with clothes on and stuff. So, so if we can take it obviously without clothes, probably like 80, 81, 82, maybe. And then yeah, so even after those first 2 days of high food, my weight stayed there at around about 83. And then the third and the fourth day, then it jumped up a little bit to 85.
Okay.
We're just chilling there. Brought the food back down again, back to baseline, and it's pretty much just staying there at the moment now.
Okay. Okay, bro. So, anyways, maybe for the people listening that don't know, let us know what happened. What shows what show or shows you did. What did you think about the shows? What did you think about your placings? What placings you got? The whole lot. Errors you made, things that you did right. Maybe we can go through that.
So obviously we started off that Saturday. We started off the NPC Muscle Mulisha regional. The show was like the venue and everything was superb. I mean, everything was put together well. I think everything ran much better compared to what it did in the past. Definitely got the ducks in a row there with everything with operations and everything. Everything ran smoothly. The schedule ran also 100% according to the times that they estimated. They obviously the day before the show gave us a calendar, well, not a calendar, like a time of when we can expect to be on and stuff like that, and it ran exactly like that.
That's good because then it worked out well for you, Because
Yeah,
if it didn't, then it would have been an issue for fucking travel and all that shit.
yeah, the timing was perfect. Like everything was got the timing spot on. Even though I'm just looking back at the pictures, when I look at the pictures, I got the original, the professional pictures from Champagne Productions. Looking at the pictures, like I could see, I was still a little bit on the flatter side on the judging rounds, and I looked much better in the posing when we did the posing routines and the finals.
Okay.
I can actually see the difference. Like, okay, I was still a little bit on the flatter side when we did the judging rounds, as well as my glaze. I think my glaze was much better.
Fuck yeah.
In the posing routine round and the finals, that when the awards rounds, like those pictures, you can see it's crazy how you can see the difference. But also, yeah, like off the bat, like we spoke about it. I don't know what happened now there. What? Can you see me?
No, can't. I don't know what happened.
Listening.
There we go.
Siri just jumped out of nowhere.
It's fucking scary, bro. Scary shit. My phone also does that. It's fucking. I'm busy having a conversation, and all of a sudden Siri asks, "Sorry, what did you say?" And I'm like, "Bro, These things fucking listen to everything. But
Like
anyways,
my laptop just wanted to switch cameras now from my laptop to my phone.
the fuck,
That's what happened. That's why the screen went blank.
dude. Fucking hell. Weird. But yeah,
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah, like saying I was saying off the bat, like I said to you in the week before in peak week, the podcast in peak week, wasn't 100% confident in the look. Definitely was still holding some body fat in some areas, so definitely wasn't what's the best word for me to use. Wasn't my I don't say it's my best. Definitely not my best. Definitely made improvements in terms of what we wanted to do, what we set out to do in the off season. Added the size on in certain areas, but obviously we didn't strip enough body fat off. Um, Becoming obviously a little bit sharper. I understand, like obviously speaking to the coach, speaking to Jays about it and everything. He didn't want to pick me for the show, but like I also said in previous podcasts, I mean, it's when you always want to come in um, sharp. You want to
Yeah.
come in somewhere decent. So I mean, we could have played cards a little bit better, in my opinion. Um, it's always you always go 100% when it comes to conditioning, but I mean, in terms of protocols, we could have done things a little bit on the milder side. And I know, like, I have an idea of what he wants to do for the December show. So he doesn't want to obviously take all the tools out of the toolbox just for a regional qualifier. Then obviously I'm done for the year. Then my body's done. Uh,
Yeah.
so obviously I understand that point of view. But I mean, obviously we could have done different protocols and stuff like that just to come in, but a little bit sharper. Obviously, didn't have to go full send on in terms of the peaking process and stuff like that. But I mean, I feel like we could have dieted a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's never a sure thing trying it that way. Eh? Fucking
yeah,
think
so we could have.
things can,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I mean, he has a plan. Like I mean, he has the plan.
yeah.
We're not. I'm not 100% sure what his plan is. So obviously, I'm just following it as I go along. As we go along, as it's given to me. I'm just following the process, ticking the boxes,
Yeah.
doing what I have to do. Um, so yeah, then we did like moving on from the shows. We after the NPC. Before I go, before we moved on. So obviously I came second in my lineup. We were only two. There's only myself and Sizwe, the giant killer. You can check him up on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sizwe, the giant killer. That's it.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah, it looked good. I mean, it looked good. I mean, it was nice to stand up there against someone instead of standing there on my own. Um, it was lots of fun being back up on stage. And like, even though I knew, like, I already aligned my expectations. Like I said, a week before the time, I looked at myself and I was like, already aligned my expectations of what I'm taking to stage. So I got myself into a mental space already that once I get up on stage, I'm not going to show it on my face that I'm not happy about my look. Um, I winged it. I showed that I wanted to be there. Uh, I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Enjoyed posing again. Made the most of what of the day. Made most of posing and of doing what we had to do. So yeah, like yeah, I
Yeah,
smiled,
it has to be like that, bro. I
smiled,
mean,
showed.
fuck you. You work so hard, really. I mean, to get up there and just kind of, you know, sad face it the whole time would be, yeah, fucking hell.
At the end of the day, like also like it's like we're speaking about this as well in the week. Just running through. Obviously, I had two athletes at the Muscle Mulisha show and one athlete at the Cape Classic. So I was explaining, like also like just running through, just speaking to the guys in the gym in the week, saying how difficult it really is to be a coach and an athlete in the same day, especially now how things ran with bodybuilding being first. Obviously, I went up first, and the classic physique boys were right after me. So like when I came off stage, they were busy pumping up, getting ready. So getting ready to get on stage. And just that few moments of me getting off stage and getting back there wasn't enough for me to obviously just um, manage the mindsets of my athletes, like where they are mentally.
Yeah.
It's definitely see the mindset shifts once they were backstage and once they got on stage. It was like the mindsets were completely different compared to the morning time when we arrived at the venue. Obviously, chilling backstage, got the tans on. Um, yeah, obviously, them looking around, looking at other guys. Obviously, they got into their heads.
Heads, yeah.
Obviously, mind games. That is one thing I also spoke to them about. Or I spoke to our viewer about it. His We can't get into our heads about when we're standing backstage and looking how other guys are looking. Is it's the same as we can't we're looking at ourselves through different lenses as well.
Yeah, for sure. You can't compare yourself to the other people because you actually have no clue what you'll never be able to judge yourself against other people the way other people would. It's like you'll most of the time. I mean, like I was speaking to you about what Wes said when he was like, yeah, he never expected himself to be like the biggest guy on stage, and it was quite obvious. I mean, he's a monster, but even he can't even see how big he is. So
So
when you start comparing yourself, it's a slippery slope.
as I was saying, listen, once you get backstage, so when you arrive at the venue and show day, the job is done, bro. There's no point in getting in your head of what the outcome gonna be because you don't have any control of it. You don't have any control over. All you have control of is over your process of how. And
Yeah,
I mean, we're still in the process of peaking. Once you arrive at the venue, you must remember that. That's one thing. All the guys can take it. Everyone's watching this and who's gonna compete soon and for the rest of the year. Once you arrive at the venue, you're still in the process of peaking because you want to peak on stage. So there's no point in you getting in your head on show day when you arrive at the venue and you start looking around, looking at how the other guys are looking. It's no point because there's nothing you can do
yeah,
about what they look like and what they've done. All you can do is control what you're doing on that day. Like you need to stay in control of number one, your mindset, where your emotions are. Is obviously when if you're gonna stress yourself out, your cortisol levels are gonna go up, and your cortisol levels are gonna. That's we call it the fuck up fairy. That's what it
yeah.
is. It
It's
comes
gonna
in and
fuck
fucks
you up
with
proper.
stuff.
Start
So
holding water. Start making stupid decisions.
so you just have to once you arrive at the venue. It's just you have to get there. You have to stay in your bubble, stay in your mindset, and leave it up to the judges. They're the ones who have to compare and have to judge. You can't sit there backstage and like, this guy looks phenomenal. This guy looks this way. This guy looks that way, and you stress yourself out where you're gonna place because you're standing against this guy. You're standing against this guy. There's no point in you stressing yourself about it. You're just doing more harm to yourself than anyone else.
Yeah, 100%, 150% true.
There's-
But saying that, it's tough to do so. When you're all backstage and you check a guy take off his hoodie and you're like, fuck, and you find out he's in your lineup.
Bro,
You're like, oh, okay. It is
it,
tough though,
it,
but you shouldn't.
it sounds like it's a simple thing, bro. It's very simple. It's just you put yourself off, bro. You just shut it off. Like, okay, cool. You give the man props. He looks phenomenal. Cool, man. You've done your work. You look awesome. Um, it's very simple. It's the same
100%.
what's an example I can give you? It's very simple, bro. There's nothing you can do about it. Like I said, it's out of your control. That's why I say it's so simple. I know it is, like you said, it's difficult, but it's actually just very simple.
It
Uh,
is very simple. It is actually, but you know what the thing is that because it's such a long build up to something, you have certain expectations of how things are going to go. And you like it's if you think about it, it's 16 weeks or however long you prep for. It's leading up to one day, and then that day is there. Especially I'm also talking about guys that are new to competing or say first, second, third, fourth time competing. They spend 16 weeks prepping for this one show or the whole year, whatever it is, for that one show. They get there on the day and like fuck, the day's here. It can fuck up your mind, but you got to I think that comes with the prep. You have to, besides working on your posing and working on your conditioning and working on your physique in general, you got to work on your mental just as hard, because that can fuck you up just as much. Because if you think about it, if you came in your best condition possible, okay, into the show, but you went backstage and you did exactly that, and you started stressing and you started having anxiety attacks and panic attacks and shit, chances are your physique could probably, lose that pop, and you start holding some water or make some stupid decision like fucking take advice from the guy next to you and drink half a bottle of wine, or I'm just giving stupid examples. But so it's a weird one. But I think it's also coming from you. You've done a lot of shows, you've experienced it, you understand how to manage it. But like that's also good, because you as a coach have knowledge now that you've done it so many times. You know exactly how to speak to your clients well, and you've got the previous knowledge about it, so you can help your clients. But easier said than done.
You basically just answered everything there of how to go about it. And everything you just said there, you basically just answered it. The same, like it starts in your prep. That's exactly where it starts. I
Yeah.
mean, like I said, there's nothing you can do really on show day but put the cherry or the sprinkles on top of the cake. Because like I said, you're still in the process of peaking,
Yeah.
but you still have to just finish the job. I mean, it's just that small little bit that you have to do is obviously just pump up, maybe eat something that's obviously just going to give you that extra pop, whatever your carb process is, or that's just the last little bit on top of the cake. It just says the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But so I mean, if you know you've done the work, you've done your job. You know you're in good condition. You're in great condition. What's the point in stressing about how other guys' conditioning looks? You understand?
Yeah.
Whereas you should be walking into the show. You're confident that this is one of the best looks you bring into the show. So there's nothing more that you can just in your control because you've already done the work. So that confidence. You have to have that confidence in yourself and say, well, like I said, it's the mindset part of it, and understanding that you don't have control over the outcome. That's one thing. Like when new guys coming into the sport, they need to understand that. That's from the get-go. You need to understand that you do not have control over the outcome. It's not a boxing match that you're going on to, or a freaking MMA fight. You have to go knock somebody out to win. Someone you're standing in front of a panel of judges that has
Yeah.
to make a decision. So even if you look your best, you bring your absolute best, you might still not win on the day because someone else might come and bring their best, and the best might be better than yours. My best description to this is like playing a game of golf, bro. Like I can play my best game of golf on the day, and you come and you play your best game of golf on the day, and your best might be better than my best.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. That's the way it works, bro. That's life. That's life for you, no?
So
Sometimes your best isn't good enough.
and that's not the thing is about not good enough. It's just that's just life, bro. It's just you've
Mm.
done your best, you've done it, and all you have to do is, I mean, yeah, that's where the champion mindset comes in. It's either you're gonna fold if you really enjoy this thing, if you really enjoy whatever you're doing, whatever you're pursuing, and you've done your absolute best, and you fail. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna give up now just because you've given your best, you've emptied your tank, and you still haven't achieved what you want to achieve? Are you gonna give up, or you're gonna keep going? Because if you give up, that means you don't really love what you're doing. You're just doing this for another participation trophy, or you just want to have that title. Oh well, I'm a bodybuilder. I've competed. No, I mean it's like I said. It's a lifestyle. If you really love this thing, or you love whatever you're doing, and you fail, and you continue after you fail, then
Yeah,
you,
100%. 100%. Or, it's either that, or you just don't have the what's the I want to come up with a better word than testicular fortitude. um,
ego thing. Then it's an ego thing, 100%.
yeah. Well, I mean, look, if you had to give up every time you lost, you wouldn't do anything.
I
But I
mean,
mean, that's like I was actually talking. We had that conversation on that other podcast I was on. Drew, that's the difference between here and here. But anyways, so Okay, so that was the first show. So first show, you got second in the lineup. If I'm not mistaken, then Wes won the overalls in bodybuilding.
Yeah,
Um,
who was there? Thanos. In his inner speech said no, he's collecting these things like Thanos.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I'm gonna speak to Wes tomorrow because yeah, flip. That was how did he look on the day? Because I saw the photos, but obviously, in person is different.
yeah, no, you look good. You look good. I mean, obviously, you in terms of he wasn't really prepared to do the show. I mean, the man looked awesome. Like
Yeah.
he's like in the middle of the prep of doing the pro qualifier now in September, and he just jumped in the show for the fierce of it or whatever the reasons. I don't know if I'm supposed to be. I don't want to say. Obviously, I've spoken to him about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my place to say why I did the show, but yeah, it just jumped into the show, and the man looked phenomenal, bro. I mean, that's the thing is when you're prepping and you've already he's come off an overall win already,
Yeah.
and just carrying momentum. So that's another thing. What leads me back to the start of why I kind of disagree with Jason in the terms of we're not picking you for the show because of we have another show in the end of the year. It's about gathering momentum. That's my whole thing. It's about gathering momentum into the next show, and that's exactly what Wes has done. Look, he's done the regional, his first regional, the Andrew Jack Classic. Came in and he had a massive long off season, same as me. He had a long off season. Um, Came in, looked absolutely phenomenal. I think he brought his best package to date at the Andrew Jack Classic in terms of the whole package, like the balance, fullness, conditioning, the symmetry, everything. I think it's like I said, I think it's one of his best looks. He's topped himself. Um, and props to him, bro. Like I mean, as I said, it's about gathering momentum. Now he's moving with that momentum, with confidence into the next show. So like that's already in your mindset. Like I've already set the bar for myself. That's what I've achieved. So with that said, I'm like I don't know what the protocols that Wes does and stuff like that. How they manage these things in terms of peaking and um, all that stuff, all that good stuff. But yeah, like what's their plan moving forward to obviously get to the end goal, which is turning pro in September. But I mean, that's my whole point about this thing is about gathering the momentum, moving from one show into the next show,
Yeah.
not sitting, putting yourself in a position where, okay, I came in at 60% or 70% of the show, so I know I'm going to come in better into the next one. It's always, I understand that approach, but also for me, it's a better approach where you can bring your best and you know like well I've achieved this so I need to better this and that's gonna give you more drive in my opinion than and more confidence in executing the work um than I brought 70% and got my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, so well it's gonna light the fire underneath you as well, but also it's like you're sitting there, you know that you're kind of still behind because I mean you haven't put yourself like I said, you haven't gathered that momentum that you needed to carry yourself. It's the same like if you watch any other sport as well, and if you watch like rugby, I mean the rugby World Cup's on now. I haven't watched a single game of rugby. That's actually rugby's on now.
Sorry. Okay. Cheers. Bye bye.
But I mean, just to make the example, you in the group stages, you want to win these games because you need to gather your momentum into moving. Obviously, win the next game.
Yeah. For sure.
So yeah, yeah. Props to Wiz. Fuck, gee, man.
Yeah. Well
I'm
done.
I'm rooting for him for the pro card in September now. I think they're now probably what 5 or 4 weeks out on that show. So yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Good luck
Props,
to the boy. Eh? That's
definitely.
that's awesome. We also got some. I don't want to go off topic. I want to get into the next show, but we
Yeah.
also got two athletes competing overseas or competed overseas. Um, this weekend, which was Cassandra Van der Merwe and Dylan Dawson. I didn't see Dylan Dawson's placing. I think he got in the top 5, was it?
No, it was just he didn't get a top 5 call out.
Just outside the top 5.
Yeah, I think let's just get into that at the end of this podcast. Yeah, I think we can jump into that. So yeah, just moving on to my show day.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know from the NPC, we went to the Cape Classic. Well, after what obviously transpired in the morning, I was like already, if I have to be honest, like my mindset kind of shifted as well. I was a little bit like defeated in terms of like I knew, well, like even though in the back of my head I knew this is not the best look I've had. I mean, I know my conditioning is not where it's supposed to be. Um, I just like in the back of my head I was just a bit off. But also, like, I kind of just sat on myself for like an hour or half an hour or so and just decided, well, you know what, you're in this already. I mean, you enjoyed yourself on stage this morning. Just just finish the job. I mean, you have a plan, follow the plan for the rest of the day and just enjoy yourself and get that feeling of getting back on stage. And that's exactly what I did. Arrived at the venue. Um, I just put my feet up, relaxed a bit, and yeah, when the time came, just jumped on stage and had a blast. But I mean, it was lots of fun. I think how many guys we were? Like 8 guys on stage.
Yeah, I think you're about 7 or 8. I'll tell you now. Yeah, I think you're about 7.
Yeah, so it was nice. I mean, like I said, we got up there, and then I enjoyed it. Also did this, just replicated with the same thing I did the morning. Like, well, I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna make sure my stage presence is here. You were a judge there, so you can obviously speak more on that, how you viewed it from your point of view. But in my terms, I just got up there and enjoyed it, bro, and I just controlled everything that I could in terms of my posing. I made sure I was eating the poses correctly, making sure that I was controlling myself, and yeah, I had lots of fun, bro. And obviously came second in that lineup as well
Yeah.
against Keenan. I haven't seen I haven't seen any professional pictures yet from the IFPB Cape Classic. So on IFPB, IBFF Cape Classic. So Mickey, what's happening, my man? Where's the pictures at?
Do you not have I saw all the other athletes have got their photos. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be that you not on that group.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that must be why, bro. I'll speak to Mickey. Good. I think they put the link on the group because I think all the athletes were on the group. Because I've seen a lot of all the professional photos, so they must be there.
So they don't release professional photos on the social medias as well. Like obviously not the high resolution ones. They, like obviously like just maybe watermarked ones or
I must have a look. I'll have a look
some
for
sort
you
of
now.
like, okay, well, there was a show where it happened. These are some of the pictures. I haven't seen anything. I mean, also there hasn't been anything saying, okay, if you want your professional pictures here, you can get them over here.
You know what the thing was? I'll tell you. I think I know why. It's because we put you in that show so late, and it was like a what's the name? People before were asked if they wanted to professional photos done. If I'm not mistaken, I wasn't involved with that side of it. So like, hold on. So for example, like these photos with like Neil and stuff. Oh shit! You see that?
Yeah.
See, these are the professional photos that were taken. And I see a lot of people got them, but what I'll do is I'll just check. I'm sure they somewhere. I'm sure they're somewhere that we can get them for you. Um, that's weird, but from my side, I would say that your lineup was good. Obviously, I was um, very impressed with Keenan's. Obviously, we know that the deciding factor between first and second was obviously conditioning, and yeah, that was pretty much it. The thing is, you definitely hold your own with regards to size and symmetry, and you had the muscle everywhere, which was good. Conditioning was good, but Keenan's conditioning was very good. Um, the only criticism I had for Keenan, I would say, would be just to work on his posing. He just needs to work on his posing, especially in that division, because he did, like, I think he did two divisions. Oh, there's so many athletes. It's kind of hard to put everyone where they were now. But he just needs to work on his posing, and then because your posing is obviously really on point. So that's the only criticisms really. Otherwise, the lineup was good. It was good to have a nice, bunch of guys. It wasn't like just you up there. There was quite a lot of guys, so that's nice. And then what else? What else? The overall bodybuilding was also sick. I mean, flipping Neil did very well to win that show. His conditioning was a lot. If I'm not mistaken, it was flipping night and day between the last time he did the Cape Classic and this year. That's why Sydney Boyson beat him. I think it was the previous year or the year before. Just because Sydney's flipping got more muscle on that. You can't really put more muscle on his frame. It's like almost impossible because he's a really small guy, but he's got so much muscle. Conditioning was on point. But yeah, Neil came in and flipping, it looked phenomenal. So it was good. It was a very good day. It was a good show. A lot of athletes just popped out of nowhere. They had like all the guys had no clue that they were competing, and then they were competing. So overall, it was a good day. It was nice to be judging some cool athletes, and yeah, it was cool. It was good to see you there as well, bro.
Yeah. It was a nice day of bodybuilding for me in terms of also experiencing the different federations. Definitely an eye opener in terms of the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Also, like, just being honest, the quality of it in terms of the athletes. Like, even though the NPC didn't have as much athletes as that, the quality was superb. Must also give props where they are. I mean,
Yeah,
the
we
athletes
do.
showed
Yeah.
up. I mean, in the classic physique division, wow! Like, I was blown away with some of those guys' conditioning. Some of the guys also, like, they really went full send for that show. You can see it. The quality was good. Obviously, the bodybuilding there wasn't much in terms of numbers, but the quality, like I said, the quality was good. Like, it was myself and Caesar in the light heavies. In the heavyweights, there was one guy, Jacques or
Okay.
something like that. But he was also, I mean, it's his first time I think he competed, and he looked phenomenal. And then the super heavies as well. Super heavies, Wes stood against another guy as well. I mean, both of them looked phenomenal. I mean, we already spoke about Wes, and yeah, and then obviously the classic physique guys, the numbers were crazy as usual.
Yeah.
Um, and the quality was good. The standard was very high, very high in terms of everything, the size, conditioning, everything. There was nobody that didn't belong up there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't obviously stay for the rest of the divisions, but just I watched the replay on YouTube, and the ladies were also phenomenal. All of them, like, really, the quality was really good. And then the men's physique as well. I mean, men's physique was of a good standard. So it's nice to see that guys are stepping up the game, and the sport is actually growing in terms of that in that direction.
Yeah. And in Cape Town, it's
And
great.
yeah,
The Cape
and
Town.
obviously, yeah. Obviously, our numbers aren't as great as they are in other provinces, like in the Gauteng, in the Joburg region. The numbers are much bigger.
Yeah.
Um, just also, I think, like I said in one of our first podcasts, it's just too many federations for our province. Our province, I think, if I have to be honest, the most it's I can't say there's one federation that's more dominant than the other one in terms of numbers, because they're all pretty much spread out. They're all pretty much spread out, like
Yeah.
a little bit here, a little bit there, and they're all quality, bro. Like we spoke about Stefan turning pro. Um, in the Battle of the Titans show. I mean, the man looked phenomenal, bro. Like, I
Jesus. Yeah.
mean, I don't know what he stood in. I think he was maybe also a heavyweight. So I'm just like thinking about throw that man in the mix. with wisdom and just throw that man in the mix. What would that look
What
like?
happens? Yeah. I mean, you throw him in the mix, you throw Neil in the mix, you throw
So,
Sidney Boyson in the mix, you in the mix, fucking, you got the other guys in the NPC like Jacques and Aris and fucking all of them in one lineup at the end, like let's say, like the biggest show at the end of the year, all the guys that haven't turned pro yet. I mean, imagine fucking that lineup.
it'd be
I mean,
great.
all the bodybuilders, I'm trying, fuck, it's probably more names that are in like WBFF or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be
Fuck.
crazy. I mean, I'm just talking like I was just actually just trying to like to piece together the Western Province region.
Yeah, 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 of course, yeah.
Our region alone, never mind the other provinces. I mean, when we go nationally, bro, we can pull out some serious names, like some serious names. I mean, of high quality and high potential that can they can go far, bro. Um, so yeah, like it's the same as in the classic physique division. I mean, also, bro, I don't know if you're going to the Shea Classic next weekend, but I'm definitely going. But also, I have an athlete competing in that show,
Okay.
so I'm going to there. But I'm definitely going to see that PFA pump lighty. I need to see that light in person. I need to see how it is and look on stage. The man's looking absolutely ridiculous on social media. He's looking fucking ridiculous for
I've
21-year-old lighty. My bro.
Yeah, also I've actually yeah, I'll have also I might be able to come to that show. I'll have a look. Maybe we should go. I think it'll be good. It'll be
I'm
good to go
definitely
have a
gonna be
look.
there. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna be there. But that's it. Like that lady, I need to see how this lady looks up on stage. I mean, as far as I know, he's more of a classic guy. He likes his classic physique. And I'm just thinking like in terms of what throw that boy in the mix, bro. And I mean, like you say, he's 21 years old, and the thing is, now
I think he's only 18, isn't he? I thought he was like 18, 19.
he's 21.
Oh, is he 21? Okay.
On his profile, says 21. So
Okay.
and just what he's gonna get a pro card. This show in this federation that he's competing with now. No knock to the federation, but I mean, what's he gonna do in terms of dividends? I mean, okay, maybe he can grow in experience, but also then what kind of damage is he gonna do once he gets to his late 20s? I mean, if you look at it like, well, it also depends what his goal is. Like, where does he want to go to? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, of
look
course.
at the Olympian guys. I mean, the youngsters are coming and making a lot of noise. Guys who are like in their late 20s, I'm coming in and making noise. So, I mean, I'm just throwing it in the hat. If he does ever watch this podcast or watch or hear whatever, I mean, man's got some serious potential, bro. And I'm just talking about seeing it over social media.
Yeah.
I'm very keen to see what he looks like in person, and obviously look what he looks like on stage, what it's going to transpire like. But what I've seen before from his previous stage pictures, it doesn't look like it's going to be disappointing at all. It doesn't look like it's going to be, um, what do you call it, a one-sided thing, where like he just looks like this on social media and looks like
Yes,
that.
yes, yeah, of course.
I've seen some of his stage pictures, his previous stage pictures, and he was much smaller. And now he's actually added a lot more size, and the conditioning is looking fucking awesome, bro. Like world-class conditioning. So yeah, we'll see what
Yeah,
happens
I must
next week.
actually go have a look at him a bit more, bro. I haven't had too much of a look. I've looked at him and he looks crazy. I must have a look. But yeah, like you said, I can't judge anyone on social media. I want to see them
Yeah,
on stage and in person because it's like fuck, bro. It's just such a different ball game. You can look so flippin' awesome on social media and vice versa. I've even seen guys that look terrible on social media. Think fuck, dude, how does this? There's no ways he competes, and then you check him on stage and he's winning. So maybe
exactly.
it's a good idea. I'll come. I'll come if I'm here, then I'll try and make a plan to get there. Um, So yeah, just to wrap up that weekend, it was good. It
Yeah,
was nice to be also like with you and in your process of the of like fucking last day and whatever, getting your tan and shit was cool. But yeah, otherwise the show's went well. I didn't see too. One thing I will say is I saw the photos of the classic in the NPC, which is fucking crazy, and Avi looked sick, very very sick. Um, he's also put on some proper size. Well done to you two. That's sick. And then the other thing was the physique lineup at the IBFF, bro.
Yeah, we have to speak about that first before we sort of wrap up like that show day. Like, oh, that physique lineup, there were some of those boys. Wow, like I was also reading, like I was like, yo, this guy is in the standard.
Bro,
Actually, like
so
looking at them live in person, and obviously I've seen what the physique guys look like off stage, because obviously they were there before I left the venue, so I
yeah,
knew what they looked like. So obviously I've seen them with the naked eye, and then going to the IBFF Classic and seeing them backstage and walking them, boom, like the standard is the men's physique standard in our province is quality, bro. I must commend this one lighty. I don't know what his name. But the muscle bellies on this boy, oh, it's fucking insane. He has some serious potential. I don't know what his name.
is he IBFF or NPC?
IBFF. What?
Is he a light skin?
Yeah,
Light
he's
skin.
very light skin. The thing is, I don't think you would remember him. I don't know if anyone would remember the guy's name, but he passed away at a very young age. I started competing in 2016, and I competed against this guy. His name was Keenan Ziegler or something like that. But I mean, there's a couple of guys who remember him. But if you go look, I think if you can go back and maybe Google him, or even go back on Facebook and check Keenan Ziegler. But the muscle bellies on this boy that we saw, on this physique boy, and Keenan's muscle bellies are like, I looked at this physique and I'm like, did this bra, like, is he reincarnated or something? Because it
Oh
was
really, eh?
insane, bro. Like, even like the muscle bellies, the waistline,
Yeah.
the like the V taper, the quad, because he did, I think he did men's physique, and he did some athletic thing where it's like kind of like bodybuilding.
The Mr. Athletic, so it's actually classic. It's pretty much classic physique,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, he did that, and I looked at this boy's physique, and I was like, wow, okay. I mean, that thickness, yeah, that just, and I mean also that density that he had on his frame. I was like, wow, this boy can go some serious distance.
Yeah.
The name is actually kind of coming to me back to me now. I think I don't know if it's on. I think he won the overall of one of the men's physique, isn't it?
Yes, I know who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Do you remember his name?
But yeah, so that lineup, well, both lineups was crazy. The short and the tall. What's his
Yes,
name?
yes, Delano.
Delano. Yeah, he won pretty much. Everyone was kind of making fun of him because he was like he had about 3 cases of Red Bulls because he had won so much fucking trophies and shit. So no, he looked absolutely phenomenal. So for everyone that's watching, what happened was the top three was like in the physique short was so tight that anyone could have won. It was like fucking like this. And the guy, the one that we actually, well, I decided to give a full sponsorship to, actually came third. Um, Samir. So that was, I mean, it's crazy. That lineup was fucking crazy. I'll try to pull up a photo on the edit when we post the podcast. But that was crazy. Then we went over to the physique tall, and there's this other guy. I don't know if you watched that. He was a tall black guy, very very dark
Yeah,
skin. He had about a 25 pack. He just had abs on abs on abs on abs and abs, and everyone was like, as I'd never seen him before, you
yeah,
know.
looks ridiculous. Yeah, he's freak too. Yeah, but yeah, he looks ridiculous.
Very good. Very good. So overall, I mean, look, if we just had to top it off, it was a great weekend of fucking shows and some awesome athletes, some new faces, some old faces that got better, some got worse. No, but yeah, it was good, and it was nice to be up front there and actually, judging this time. So it was great,
Mm.
absolutely awesome.
But
Um,
just on that point of there was three guys, you're saying there were three guys that could have won. I think there must be one winner. At the end of the day, there must be some sort of tiebreakers.
no, of course. What I actually meant was like on any given day, like one of them could have won if
Yeah,
one was a little bit off. So, um, but look, the winner deserved it. He definitely deserved it. He looked fucking. I mean, it was actually like a cartoon. It was just almost like perfect. From the back. I mean, his back just was like fucking what do you call, like a muscle chart. It was literally just like absolutely perfect. And then yeah, the ladies division was also good. Everything was great, bro. Everything was great. But yeah, anyway, so I guess we can finish off with. So what I saw was Dylan Dawson and Cassandra, they both competed overseas, and I think I watched Dylan, the like not the live stream but the Instagram stuff. It's kind of hard for me to understand where they're placing everyone and also like who's they're up against, because it's just like stories and shit. But so I take it Dylan just came outside the top 5, but he looked phenomenal.
We'll have to wait for the scorecards. I think they might be out already if you
Okay.
can't see news online because they release it like on the next day. So I don't know. You can go take a look after we get off and check if it's on there.
Yeah.
It should be on there, but he was in the second call out and he was roundabout in the middle of that second call out. So
Yeah.
I would say you probably land up in like sixth or seventh place, what it looks like. I mean, they had the top 5 call out that Stefan guy as well, um, of social media, the new guy that won the show.
Yeah.
Looked awesome. Dylan definitely improved on the last showing. You can see it from the Instagram on the Instagram post. I think his coach, there's just too many Stefans. Holy hell. He's coaching Stefan.
Yeah.
Or Steph, yeah, Stefan, or whatever. But there's just too many of them. But yeah, he posted and tagged Dylan or on that story. So you can go to either one of their profiles and check it. But yeah, he looked awesome again. I think it's like he's definitely knocking on that door, especially by getting a second call out in his second pro show. I
Yeah.
think it's already like they're already noticing. Okay, this guy can. And what I like about Dylan, I must say, the man gets into the pose and he holds the
Holds
pose.
their pose. Yeah.
He doesn't move around and shuffles around. He gets into the pose and he holds it. Like especially like this is for my ever my I knock all classic physique guys with this. Especially I was shitting on Avi about this. Um,
Yeah.
is the favorite classic physique pose. They say that the call is your favorite classic physique pose, not your favorite classic physique poses.
Ziz.
Like
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
a pose and hold the pose. Don't get into a pose and then you're changing the pose. It's one classic pose. Not
I saw that, and I know exactly what you're talking about because I saw Dylan do the hand behind the back, front like the front, and he just hold it for forever, and that is good. It actually just looks so much better as well because you actually he's just still, and everyone's fucking moving around, and he becomes the focal point.
yeah.
So it's very important to do that. Very very important, especially from a judge's perspective. If everyone's moving around, you can't judge them. So
You
the
know,
oak that's
I was
standing,
saying,
even
you
if
know,
he's just standing doing this, you're gonna watch him.
so yeah, I mean, like, it looked awesome. I'm not very what's the word I'm looking for now? Um, clued up with Cassandra, but and she's a bikini competitor. Is one of JP's?
Yes, she's bikini pro, and
I think I saw it on his story.
I wish there was just like you see, even if I try research in Google, I can't find the information, the proper information on it. So that's my issue.
I
Otherwise,
I actually did see. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a wellness
you know
chick.
what I'm talking about.
She won the pro card, stood in the wellness pro lineup, and won it, and booked a ticket to the Olympia. Here it is. So I don't know if this is. I don't think this is Morris's athlete. I don't think so. I'm
No,
not sure.
it's J. She's JP's athlete, Cassandra.
I'm on the athlete. I'm actually on the athlete's page now. No, I
Oh,
don't know about
okay.
Cassandra. Cassandra's not in wellness the way, so definitely
No,
not.
yeah, she's in
I'm,
bikini.
I'm talking about this wellness chick that you just said now won the pro card and is now going to the Olympia. I'm talking about that post. I'm in the profile
Oh,
now and I see any South African coach on this, but I mean in terms of I don't think she's definitely not a South African. Um,
okay. Well, then I might be mistaken. So now, if I am, then I really feel like an idiot. But
No,
It's
no,
just what I saw.
it's not that you're an idiot. It's just the way people also post things. I mean, this is someone who posted on their story and tagged their coach saying, okay, this is how you do it. Like you win you win your pro card, you get into a
Yeah,
pro stage, and you win your
you
Olympia
win it.
ticket. So it's just like maybe that's how I read it as well. It's like, wait, is this someone
What? Yeah, that's how I read it.
I did that, and then I was like, I click. I'm when I see things like that, bro. I click until I find an answer. So I did that already last night. That's why I knew exactly where to go to.
Yeah.
So yeah, like yeah, that is how it is actually how it's done. And I've actually seen it before. Like the same with I don't know if you know if you're familiar with him. He's a 212 guy now. He won his pro card. On that same weekend, the next day, he won his pro card. The Saturday was the pro qualifier. The Sunday was the pro show. Got onto stage the next day at the 212, won it, and then he went to Olympia in 2022. Dean White.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. And also, I'm pretty sure, well, not to the same extent, but Justin Shire as well won his pro card and then waited for his first pro show, and he won it wasn't the Chicago Pro, was it? I'm trying to think now, but he looked crazy. He's also going to the Olympia this year. He looked phenomenal. So yeah, look, easier said than done, but yeah, that's kind of the way you want it. You want to be competitive on an international level. I think that's why also a lot of people opt to go to amateur Olympia, you know?
Yeah.
Then they know, okay, this whole Olympia thing is actually in my near future, you know? So,
Let's get a
well,
perspective.
I hope I'm right with regards to Cassandra. I hope that I'm correct that she won it. But I mean, even if she didn't, I mean, look, she looked absolutely phenomenal. So let's see.
Well, let's confirm here then. I don't see anything on JP's thing. Actually, I had a little bit of a chat with JP in the week.
Okay.
So, like, I don't see anything on his story because he actually lost his phone. So he's operating.
Wait, I think you know where I might find it. I'll tell you now where I might find this. Let's see. Uh, okay, wait. Um, I wish there was just like a site where I could go and just get
Information.
the placings because it's always all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see anything here. Social
Really?
medias.
Yeah.
Not.
Then I don't know because
mm,
should have it. Yeah.
Pro debut. Let's check her profile. I found her. There's nothing on her profile.
Why does it? The person I'm looking for now, does it look like they don't exist anymore, or I spelled it wrong?
Well, waiting. Let's see. Anything on stage? Surely nothing. Yeah.
Jeez. Thank God this podcast isn't on audio. People wouldn't know what the fuck's going on.
What do you mean on audio?
Like what do you call it? You know, some podcasts you can listen to like just through Spotify on audio or whatever.
Oh, yes. Otherwise, I would be fucking clueless. Um, there's no end result here. She looks like well, I don't know if this is what call out this is, but she was like on the far right hand side. Mm, yeah, they don't say anything about the placing.
Yeah.
I just finished the story. Yeah, nothing about placing. She look good though. She look good. You can go take a look at her profile. I found her profile.
Yes, yeah, I know her. She looks phenomenal. So I think she definitely got the potential. If she didn't win, she's got the potential to go to Olympia. That's for sure.
Got it height. Tall, eh?
Very tall, yeah.
Mm. She looks awesome.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm just happy that there's, you know, even if they're not getting there just yet, people are starting to push the envelope, you know. Now
Yeah.
you've got, instead of just like Cebu, uh you got Sibs, you got flipping Dylan, you got Cassandra, you got, Muzi, you got all of them just pushing to get there, and they're on the cusp, so that's awesome.
Now that
You know,
I'm on social media, we forgot about one person that competed. I think he's doing Texas now as well. Is it? I think
is
it's today. Was it? Is it today?
Tristan, sorry as well.
Justin, yeah, I think he done Tampa, and then Texas. Isn't it this weekend or was it next weekend? I think it's next weekend. I think it's next weekend, as well as Yuri, Mr. Incredible, is doing Texas as well.
Okay,
I actually spoke to had a little bit of a chat with Lewis in the week as well.
okay,
With Coach Lewis, yeah, I had a chat with him. Asked him how's Yuri doing and stuff. Texas is going to be a big show. It's going to be obviously a gauge to see where he stacks up. Um, it's going to be a tough one. Obviously, making your pro debut in a show like that, because I mean everyone's chasing that O qualifier now. So I think it's going to be a tough run. But
yeah,
he's
that's
got
tough.
Mexico as well after that. And I thought Mexico was first, but now, yeah, like I said, I chat with him with Lewis in the week. So he said now Tampa. No, 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 not Mexico. Dubai. He's going to Dubai after Tampa.
Okay,
I think it's the Dubai Muscle Show. I think that's now in September, in late September.
okay, great. Well, there we go. I mean, I've named a few, and then I still missed two.
Yeah,
They've got a chance, you know. It just it's awesome to see. You know, yeah. It's just, yeah, it's fucking awesome to see. I'm keen to see what. Also, I'm keen to see what happens at the end of the year now with this pro qualifier. You know, the new pros that are gonna come out and shit like that. So let's see. Let's see
yeah.
what happens, bro.
Yeah, the first pro qualifying was now in September. Like I said, it's 4 weeks away. The
Hmm.
Muscle Lucia one. So we'll see what ways Mr. Thanos is going to bring us.
Let's hope Wes brings his best package to date and wins that pro card because he deserves it. I mean, also the thing is with Wes is he's got such a big frame. He's got such a huge frame that you can just fucking stack a lot of muscle on there. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's hard, but he's just such a wide person. You know, shoulder to shoulder, clavicle to clavicle. Fucking, he's a big person. You know, so he's got a lot of. Even though he's so big, he can still put on more meat on that frame.
Yeah.
So let's see how he goes. I'm excited to see, bro.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
Cool, man. Let's
yeah,
wrap it up there.
yeah, brother. But yeah, we'll do another one soon. I'm actually gonna just check if um actually hold on. Are we gonna move? Are we gonna move this thing back to Thursday nights? Because we changed it for Blaine and now it's not. And look, last week was obviously my fault. I was fucking sick as a dog. But like for the Sunday. But are we going to move it back to Thursday nights? Because I mean, it doesn't.
Bro, you need to have a serious chat with these boys in the group and say,
I
yo, listen,
will
like that.
actually. I will.
Like, serious, others we can get other people on this thing, bro. Like I mean,
Yeah, we will. We'll get
come,
some of the new meat, the new Chinas on, and then we can rotate a bit better as well, you know. But then I think Thursday nights probably work better because everyone's also wants to be out on a Sunday or going for like a late brunch or whatever shit or training at this time. So, anyways, let's see. I'll speak to the boys. I'm going to give them an 8 cuck. I also deserve an 8 cuck because I got sick, but that's the story of the thing,
uh, yeah, I think just change, like add some other personnel, and obviously we can decide on a day once other people jump on board in the group.
Yeah,
Mm. And we can decide from there. Obviously, we need to consider their times as well. I think Thursdays can I can make it work if it's gonna be later. Because yeah, like I do train late
yeah.
over evening, but we can make it work. Um, mm. Sorry, man, I still have to eat, bro. I haven't eaten yet.
Are you serious?
I haven't eaten yet. Yeah, I was saying let's get other guys involved as well, and obviously check their timing, and
Yeah.
then decide what day is going to work best for all of us. And yeah, we just communicate.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I think I've got some ideas of well, there's quite a few guys that want to be on board, so I'll speak to them and then we can organize. Then
Yeah.
it can be a Thursday would probably be better for me as well. But anyways, look, Blaine, coming for you, boy. I'm coming for you.
I had a
And
chat with
you guys well. I'm also coming for you.
I had a chat with him last week. I gave him a phone. Yeah, we had a phone call, so we had a little bit of a chat last week Saturday. So yeah, so man's also getting in a good space. He actually joined JP now as well.
I see so.
So yeah, like that's why I was like hoping everyone else gonna jump on so we can obviously get some more info from him about that. Obviously, I've spoken to him, so I'm not gonna. It's not my place to speak out on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we get him on, let him speak about it. But yeah, I think just give a cuck in the group because nobody replies in the group, but everybody's posting on social media.
Yeah, boys, I'm coming for you all. I'm coming for you all. Anyways, brother, have a good weekend or rest of your Sunday. And I know we're supposed to organize for today, so but I assume you're going to be with the missus. So let's organize for in the week or whatever.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
think
know.
it did work out better. Yeah, I mean, every second Sunday or every second weekend, my missus is off, so obviously I need to spend some time with her,
Yeah.
especially with the schedule. What the fuck is going on with this phone?
Or as well, I'll come train with you, bro.
Yeah. So like I said, like yeah, every second weekend, and the missus also have to spend time with my schedule being so hectic on prep
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So I need to make time for her and
100%.
keep
No
her.
worries. Okay. Treat,
Cool.
brother. Well, then I'll speak to you on WhatsApp. I'll speak to the boys, and then I'll see you in the week. Maybe I'll come train if I got a gap.
100%, bro. 100%. Take it easy.
Cheers, brother.